stomach issues, stomach acid. It's a big problem for people who have a lot of gut issues. It can cause leaky gut. So drinking water is a very, very big thing. Don't think, you know what, I need water with my meals. I've had it ever since I was, since small. After you stop doing this, you need to build up your stomach acid to that same strength and same potency as it once was when you were small. So the way I did this was, alright boys, in this video we're going to be talking about bloating. Now, bloating after each meal, if that's someone like you, that will definitely stop your fat loss. And brown guys especially, they have this problem with bloating and they don't even know they have this problem. So a common symptom of bloating is burping, belching, and of course each time after you eat, your stomach basically swells up and you feel like you've eaten too much. And now if that's someone like you, then you've definitely got some kind of digestion issues. And the reason you've got this issue is because you've probably done a cocktail of things wrong and for a long time. One of the main reasons behind bloating and burping and belching, everything like that, is because the stomach acid has been diluted. Now, there's a few reasons because of that. As I said before, there's a cocktail of things you've probably been doing wrong. So one of the things, and some of the things you've been doing wrong, is you've not been chewing your food properly, first and foremost. Now, this is a very big, I won't say issue, but this is a very big thing which has only really come about within the past 10, 15, 20 years. People are just not chewing their food properly, and there's two main reasons for this. One of them is because every time they eat something and eat your meal, there's probably you as well, and sometimes it's even me as well. When I'm eating, I always have to watch something. Now, a lot of people, because they're watching something, they become kind of brainless and they don't remember to chew their food. So if you're someone who's watching TV, try and ideally not watch TV. But if you are watching TV, make sure you're chewing your food properly at least 30 times. 40 times is ideal. And what happens is when you chew your food that much, the food becomes water-like. Basically, it becomes a runny texture, and it becomes very, very easy for the stomach to digest it, and it's very, very easy for the intestines as well. So make sure you limit your food, your TV watching. Ideally, you don't watch TV whatsoever, right? Especially when you're eating, because another thing I remembered one time when I went to a restaurant, it's like you actually appreciate the food that you're eating, you appreciate the flavors you're getting. When you're watching TV, it's like the food is like a secondary focus. The main focus is you watching TV, and if you're watching something very interesting, you probably chew your food like 5 times, 10 times, if that. There's so many people which I've observed and noticed, they don't even chew their food, and they're like, you know what, I'm having digestion problems, my stomach's hurting. It's because they're not chewing their food, and they've probably got large chunks of food going down the digestive tract, and which is not very good, especially long term as well. In the immediate term, you've probably got some kind of constipation. They've probably got stomach issues, stomach problems. So make sure you chew your food. And the thing is, when you chew your food more, you extract more nutrients, like you're breaking the food down more. So that's very, very important. And the next thing which you're probably doing, and something which I did for a very, very long time, was I was drinking water before my meals, I was drinking water during the meals, and I was drinking water after my meals. And drinking water is a very, very big thing, and it stems from not chewing your food enough. If you chew your food enough, you will not need any kind of fluid when you're eating, because the water is already runny. Like yesterday, I was eating at someone's house, and they're like, I don't know how you basically eat your food without having water on the side. And then I just told them I chew my food properly. There's no need for me to have any water. Now, the thing with having water before and after, the body knows roughly what time you eat, and that's why you get hungry at certain times every single day. It's your stomach acid ramping up. Now, the stomach acid, we're going to come on to that in a second. But what happens is when the stomach acid starts ramping up and you start having water during them times, your stomach acid is being diluted. And when it becomes diluted, the ability of it to break down the food that you're eating becomes reduced. So just think of this, your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve a razor blade, but when you keep having water before your meal, during your meal, and even after your meal, eventually it will become diluted, and you will, as a direct result of that, you will start burping, you will start belching, you will have these stomach issues, you will have digestion issues. So make sure you don't drink water before and after your meal, because the body does know when you will eat, and it starts preparing the body for that. The body is not dumb. And after your meal, it's same thing. Your stomach acid is high, so wait until about 30 minutes, at least 40 minutes, to have a water. If you're, I don't know, if you're choking, if you're dying of dehydration, that's something else, right? And same thing with during the meals. You don't want to dilute the stomach acid before. Just chew your food enough, and that's it. The next thing which is causing you to be bloated, and this is a very, very big problem for brown guys, especially because this thing gives them a skinny fat body as well. They're just consuming too many carbohydrates. And when you're having too many carbohydrates, the body doesn't know what to do. That's why, for example, when you have a lot of rice, this happens to me especially, when I have a lot of rice, or any carbohydrate for that matter, I feel tired, I feel sluggish, I feel like I've got brain fog. That is a direct effect, again, of having too many carbohydrates. If you have carbohydrates and within like 10, 15, about within half an hour to an hour, you go and work out, that's different. And even then, you would have a different kind of carbohydrate. You would have some kind of fruit, you would have maybe some honey, you would have something fast acting. If you're having loads of rice, loads of potatoes, loads of any kind of carbohydrate for that matter, if you have loads of them during your meal, after your meal, you will 100%, you will feel bloated, you will feel tired, you just feel very lethargic. This used to happen at one of my workplaces when I used to work. They would have lunch on site, and in the canteen they would have really good meals, right? And they would just give loads of carbohydrate, they would give loads of rice, they would give loads of chips, loads of roasted potatoes, all of this every single day, right? And you would just notice every single person after lunch, they'd be like, you know what, I'm slumped, I'm knackered, I'm not going to be able to do any work, I feel like going to sleep. And that's one of the symptoms, not symptoms, but that's one of the results of having too many carbohydrates with your meals. Now, the next thing, this is very, very important. This is very, very important after eating, because what this thing will do, it will lower your blood sugars. I believe it's blood sugars very, very quickly after you eat. Even better than, I think I was watching this video and the guy said metformin, and I think metformin is like actually, I'm not going to pretend I know what it is, but if I remember correctly, he said metformin is something which they give to diabetics to basically bring their blood sugars to a reasonable level, to a low level, whatever he said. And this one simple thing is walking around after eating. So it will lower your blood sugar, and another thing, it will digest the food that you're eating. And I've noticed, I actually use that walking pad for that reason. As soon as I eat, I come upstairs, I basically put the walking pad on, and I'll walk for like 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on how I feel. And the thing is, as soon as I do that, especially after eating, it's like, you know what, you feel like you've absorbed the food, digested the food. A lot of time when I used to eat the food before, it's like the food is on me. It's hard to explain it, but I feel like the food is on me. It's on my stomach, it's on my body. But after walking, it's like, you know what, the food is no longer on me. The food is inside of me. I can, absorb the food. I can make the most of the food. I can use the food. And it would keep me longer as well, which is weird, because you would think, because you've burnt some calories walking, the likelihood is you would feel hungrier more quickly, which is not the case at all. Now, all of these things they're very, very important for brown guys, especially because from when I was small, it's the chewing the food is a little bit different, but chewing the food is a bit of a separate thing, because I feel like it's a modern day problem where people don't chew their food because they're watching too much TV. But drinking water before your meals, after your meals, I feel like that is something which I've been doing for a very long time. I stopped doing this around 6 years ago, and the reason I found out, I was watching this video by Dr. Berg, and he was basically saying symptoms of malabsorption and basically digestion issues, because I had a lot of skin issues and I was trying to get to the bottom of it. And this stomach acid, it's a big problem for people who have a lot of gut issues. It can cause leaky gut. So drinking water is a very, very big thing. Don't think, you know what, I need water with my meals. I've had it ever since I was, since small. After you stop doing this, you need to build up your stomach acid to that same strength and same potency as it once was when you were small. So the way I did this was I started having bentane hydrochloric acid. I got it from Amazon. I had like a couple of tablets every single day for like a month. Yeah, for a month. It was I believe it was 2018 or 2019. It was during Ramadan. And after after I broke my fast, before I had like a big meal, I would have the Bentine hydrochloric acid, and it made a big difference. I no longer burp, I no longer belch. If I go through a period of drinking water with my meals or after my meals, I realize straight away, because I'll basically stop burping, I'll basically stop belching again, which is obviously not good. Next thing, which I said, carbohydrates. This is a very, very big problem for brown guys. So stop in general just having too many carbohydrates. If you're someone who your mom cooks your food, or you, like me, you work at a place where they basically serve food in a canteen, just ask them to reduce the amount of carbohydrates they're giving you. Reduce the amount of rice, bread, pasta, potatoes, anything of that nature. And you might have to go through a trial and error period where you're like, you know what, this is the right amount of carbs. You might have a lower amount of carbs and you might feel hungry. You're like, you know what, I need slightly more, I need slightly less, whatever it is. So make sure you do all of these things, and try and invest in a walking pad. Just not because you only need it to walk on after you've eaten. It's just good generally as well, especially in the UK where the weather is rubbish most of the time. You could basically start your day and get in like 20-30 minutes of steps, and it's just a very good way to start your day, a very good way to easily get in your zone 2 cardio, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So yeah, because all of these things, if you're bloated, your fat loss will definitely stop. In fact, it might even make you gain a bit of weight. So make sure you fix all of these things, because as I said before, fat loss will stop. And of course you don't want that. If you're a brown guy and you want help with losing weight, with gaining muscle like I did, I lost weight on 2 separate occasions. On one occasion but on one transformation I lost around 30 pounds of fat, and on another one in 2021 I lost about 6 or 4 pounds of fat. And in that period, I basically fixed loads of autoimmune issues. I basically become healthy. I gained loads of muscle. I lost loads of fat. Fixed my skin issues. Became aesthetic. Became lean. And yeah. So if you're someone who wants help with those kind of problems, and if you want accountability, every single thing, then join my free school community. The link will be in the description below. The first one. Click on that. Thank you.